Sound City is a documentary. It's directed by Dave Grohl, and on its surface it's about the Sound City recording studio. But more essentially it's about the transition that the music industry is making from analog, reel-to-reel recording to digital recording. The Sound City studio is where Nirvana recorded Nevermind, and I think Tool recorded parts of Undertow. One of the charms of the place is that while it had pretty good equipment, for example, Dave Grohl focuses a lot on the virtues of the Neve mixing console, it wasn't always the newest equipment. As other studios were switching to computer-based systems, they kept with the regular analog tape. And the studio didn't really have a whole lot of extra bells and whistles. There were holes in the wall, stains in the carpet, and I can only imagine what the place smelled like. But all of that really underscored the fact that it was about the music, man. While some of the people who are interviewed in the documentary are hostile to digital recording, the movie as a whole is really not. As a whole, the movie is really about trying to find a way to preserve the human element in recording music while still taking advantage of the new technology that's out there. Trent Reznor is interviewed in a couple of parts, and he's known for using every technology imaginable in the recording studio. He's been recording onto computers for over 20 years. And in this movie you see him recording some stuff with his guitar plugged into a laptop that's running Guitar Rig, which is a sort of a software-based guitar effects program. But even Trent Reznor at one point says that the kids who are just coming into recording music now, who haven't worked with the hardware systems and only know the software, and who haven't had the experience of pushing the buttons and turning the knobs on the actual hardware equipment, are missing out on something. And I somewhat agree with that. I worked with a lot of that hardware equipment back in the 90s, and it is a lot of fun to play with racks upon racks of knobs and dials. But back then, if you wanted to get even the most basic equipment for a recording studio, you had to pay thousands of dollars for it. Now you can download apps for your iPod for $20 or $30 that do a lot of the same things. Even the top-of-the-line software for a desktop is only a few $100s. So while it is a lot of fun playing with all of that hardware gear, it's really not worth the price. Not to me, anyway. At first it seemed as though this movie was going to be a big hate party against technology in the music industry. But I think the overall message of the movie is that recording music, writing music, is more about the people you do it with rather than the equipment you have or don't have. If you're doing it with people who are committed to it and who are fun to work with and easy to work with, that's going to show through in the music. That's going to show through in the final product. And I love this movie. There's lots of stuff in there for music nerds, especially the ones who are into recording. And it also goes over quite a bit of 20th and 21st century music history. I totally dug it.